now, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage CEO of Schneider Electric, Olivier Blum. Come on up, Olivier.
Good afternoon.
Now, Olivier, you're leading a global energy technology company at a time when both digital and energy systems are just being revolutionized. How do you see that landscape evolving? And tell all of the folks here in this room, what do they need to be doing to stay competitive in that environment?
Well, look, first of all, I don't know if I can teach or tell to the people what they have to do. You know much better your job than I know. What I can tell you for us, Schneider Electric as a global company, you know, we've been in this electrification industry for very, very long. I've been working in the industry for more than 30 years right now. And the speed at which we see technology changing has nothing to do compared to what we have known in the past. So for us, Schneider Electric, the obsession is not only to be a tech company which is good at innovating, but at innovating fast. The cycle in which we are entering has nothing to do with the previous one. You know, I used to take example. We used to, for instance, develop a new generation of circuit breaker. You spend 2 years to think about it, you spend 3 years to develop it, you launch it, and that stays in the market for the next 10, 15 years, and that's it. Does not work in the world of tomorrow. This morning we talked a lot about electrification, digitalization. When you look at what it means for our industry, what are the type of product we need to develop? Every single product that we develop has to be software first, has to be connectable. Every controllers that we are developing has to be software designed. We need to extract data at every level. And of course, all of that is influenced by electronics. The speed at which electronics is changing is also going to impact quite a lot our industry. So to cut it short, if I would be in front of our Schneider Electric team internally, I would say speed is a new currency. We have to change the clock speed of our company and probably of our overall industry if we want to stay relevant in the next cycle.
And what about agility? We were speaking backstage about the complications of a more regional global economy, geopolitics today. How do you cope with those factors?
Well, look, it's very, very interesting because we have always this question, sometimes from analysts, from investors, what do you think about geopolitics? Is it going to get better next year? I don't think so, personally. You know, I spent the past 20 years, for instance, of my life between China, India, in those economies where it keeps changing every year. And now what we see at global scale is that geopolitics are there to stay. Probably we are entering in a new era in a world which will be a bit more fragmented. And that's not for me to comment and to say if it's good or bad. But for multinational, it means we have to change the operating model of the company. We've grown up in companies which were local and regional, and we have been told one day that the magic recipe is globalization. We have been advised, and I hope there is not too many consultants in the room, but we have been advised for a lot of money by a lot of consultants that the world was about globalization. And probably it was true at one point of time. We at Schneider, we have globalized our supply chain, we have globalized a lot of stuff. But while it brings a lot of value in the company, we believe at Schneider the future is about regionalization. It's about building a model where, well, you have a global strategy with a certain number of things which are extremely strategic that you want to maintain at global level. It can be about your capital allocation, about your key people, it can be about platforming in technology. We want to create a model which is much more regionalized. So what does it mean for us is from the customer to the salespeople, to the R&D, to supply chain, to our supplier, we want to create a regional loop to make sure we go much faster. You know, when you grow up in a company like Schneider, like I did, being a French guy, spend a lot of time in Asia, spend a lot of time in the US, no way you can understand every single region in the world. It's just moving and changing so fast. So the only recipe is to create those regional loops, which are much more agile, much more faster to stick to the local market and to make decisions. So that's what we believe, and that's a way to make the most of the geopolitics. I prefer to build a model which is much more agile. Complexity is great if you do better than the other. So that's what we are trying to do at Schneider Electric.
Got it. Now, thinking on the energy usage of AI obviously consumes a lot of energy. It is also one of the best paths to saving energy. We also have a situation where a lot of the companies involved in using that energy have been real leaders in clean energy. So what's your take on the benefits of a sort of well-run data center? How how do you make sure that you're really delivering those benefits across that ecosystem?
Well, look, it's an excellent question, and we've been at Schneider Electric a very strong advocate that the future is about electrification and digitalization. Electrification has started. We see that the usage are starting to be more and more electrified in home. We see it also in transportation. We see it in industry, going at different speed in different parts of the world. What we see coming with AI is taking digitalization to the next level. What I'm just trying to explain is for us, we've made sure that all the new devices, all the new equipment we launch in the market are connectable by design. So which means that you can connect them and you can extract data. But we were probably still a little bit weak on the technology side of what do you do with those data. Now, once you have those data available and you're able to structure those data, and we are creating at Schneider Electric a unique data hub which combines energy and process data, then you bring efficiency to the next level. Imagine your home. You have an electrical panel in your home. I'm sure you have one, all of you have one. Today, this electrical panel is not intelligent. Imagine the time where your electrical panel will become smart, where you can extract data. But we don't want you to go on your mobile phone to change the temperature of your air conditioning or heating system. But the system will learn by itself, and thanks to AI, will manage your electrical installation and therefore your energy consumption by itself. You change the energy consumption in the world, in building or in residential. Guess what?
And not just homes, you do it in stadiums, you do it in hospitals.
And guess what? Building represents 40% of energy consumption in the world. So data center, or let's say AI, therefore, there is no AI without compute, there is no compute without energy. So of course we have to provide those infrastructure, which at a first look like a huge increase of energy consumption, but that's what will bring energy intelligence. And that's where companies like Schneider wants to play a big role to create that convergence between the need for compute and the need for more efficient energy.
And thinking beyond homes or data centers, when we're really looking at that nexus between AI and energy, what are the technologies that you're most excited about?
Well, look, I'll give you a couple of examples. We have our team, for instance, in the US, they've developed this software which is called Resource Advisor, which helps for enterprise. We use it at Schneider to understand all your energy consumption. You can translate that in CO2 emission. And we used to have this software as a support for engineers to provide services to the customer. What we are doing now with our team, and I'm quite excited with what they have done in the US, they have brought AI in this software. They are creating agents where more and more we can sell a software to our customer, and we hand over to the customer, and by themselves they can leverage the platform, and they don't need us to come back every single day, and that creates sometimes some slowness in the process, and they can manage by themselves because they have the software which is intelligent, which has agent that can solve most of their problems. They don't need to call Schneider Electric, and we can come with our level 3 expert when they need really the level of expertise. So that's
and
one of the examples.
And you can scale it a lot easier than some hardware as well.
The second example, which is very exciting, and if you have time to go to the marketplace, is what we call the EcoCare franchise. We sell low voltage panel, we sell medium voltage panel, we have our UPS. All those devices now are intelligent by design. They have the native connectivity. You extract the connectivity, and we can provide a digital service to our customer to anticipate, for instance, the obsolescence of the asset. So we don't need to sell a contract where you send engineer on site 4 times per year to check if the installation is still working, if it's still safe or whatever. We extract those data to help us to do preventive maintenance. So that gives tremendous value to our customer. So that's another example where hardware and digital combined create new value for the customers.
Now, you have a new report out which really outlines that there's 1,000 days to define America's energy future, where literally every day counts. What are the priorities that you're personally sort of trying to instill across the organization and that you think everyone here should be focused on?
Well, for us, our key message is everything is about energy technology, and the good news, those technologies are available today. It's not like we are talking about technology that will come in 3 years, in 4 years. I was talking about the new Resource Advisor, which is available for demonstration here. We are launching, for instance, EcoStruxure for sites, which help you to manage power and building management through the same platform. So my message is those technologies are available. We need to embrace those technologies. And if we are all moving as an ecosystem, from the utilities to the supplier like Schneider to our different partners, our supplier as well, we can deliver the mission of this country, which is really to increase, to meet the energy demand, and to meet the energy demand, of course, which is required for all the AI technology that we need. So it's a very exciting moment. And I don't think it's a time where we should complain too much. I think we need to embrace this opportunity and see how we can transform our industry, because I can really take energy tech to the next level.
Yeah, I share your optimism. We've got time maybe for one last quick question. Technology is not just about the gadgetry, it's also a human story. What are the sort of workforce and skills strategies that leaders here in the room need to be thinking about to make sure they're at the front of this AI revolution?
Well, I'm glad that you asked the question, because in 3 weeks from now, we are going to disclose really the next sustainability commitment of Schneider for the next cycle, which come on top of everything that we do on the business. What else we can accelerate? And I can tell you, we'll see that one of the biggest commitments that we have is about the electric workforce, because we know we cannot deliver and we cannot bring those energy technology to our customer if we don't need the number of people who understand electricity, electrician, but people who understand the basics of electricity, but that can understand also our digital, because it's not exactly the same technology, this is not exactly the same competencies. So we are committing at the company to help in every ecosystem we work in the world to increase the number of electricians and to make sure we bring the digital layer in terms of competencies. And of course, I will encourage all the people in the room to contribute, because those technologies we are talking about will never happen if we don't create the workforce that we need to install those technologies everywhere in the world, and especially in the US.
There we go, some good AI jobs news. Olivier Blum, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.